Welcome back to Bike Two-Wheel World, where today we are taking a close look at a motorcycle that brings together low-slung cruiser attitude, modern Japanese engineering, lightweight handling, and a surprisingly sporty personality. This is our detailed look at the 2026 Kawasaki Eliminator Concept, a motorcycle that represents the idea of what a modern middleweight cruiser should be: simple enough to enjoy every day, stylish enough to turn heads, and powerful enough to make every ride interesting. Kawasaki has given the Eliminator a very different character from the traditional heavy cruiser formula. Instead of relying on huge engine capacity and massive dimensions, the Eliminator focuses on a compact chassis, accessible ergonomics, a parallel twin engine, and a long, low silhouette. The result is a motorcycle that looks relaxed but has considerably more energy underneath the surface. For riders who want cruiser styling without the weight and bulk normally associated with the category, this motorcycle is particularly interesting. Starting with the design, the Eliminator immediately communicates its personality through its proportions. The motorcycle has a long and low appearance, with a low seat, stretched visual lines, a compact fuel tank, and a relaxed riding position. The concept interpretation takes that existing philosophy and imagines it with an even more purposeful visual identity, emphasizing clean bodywork, dark mechanical components, a minimalist rear section, and a muscular stance. Kawasaki's production Eliminator already uses a lightweight trellis frame and a distinctive cruiser layout, and those characteristics give the motorcycle an appearance that is both modern and recognizable. At the front, the round headlight gives the bike a classic motorcycle character, while the rest of the bodywork keeps things contemporary. On the production SE ABS version, Kawasaki adds a headlight cowl, fork boots, special graphics, and other equipment that give the motorcycle a more premium appearance. For a concept-style version, you can imagine the front section becoming even cleaner, perhaps with a sharper LED signature surrounding the round lamp while retaining the circular headlight shape that connects the motorcycle to classic cruiser design. The handlebar remains visually open and gives the rider a commanding but approachable position. There is no need for excessive bodywork because the Eliminator's engine, frame, wheels, and suspension are already important parts of the visual package. Moving toward the side profile, this is where the Eliminator's proportions really stand out. The motorcycle uses an 18-inch front wheel and a 16-inch rear wheel, a combination that contributes significantly to the long and low appearance. The relatively narrow overall shape makes the motorcycle look lighter than many traditional cruisers. The fuel tank sits neatly between the rider and steering head, while the exposed frame and engine create a mechanical appearance that should appeal to riders who prefer motorcycles with visible engineering rather than extensive plastic bodywork. The low seat is one of the strongest features of the Eliminator. Kawasaki lists the seat height at just 28.9 inches, making the motorcycle physically approachable for a wide range of riders. This low height also contributes to the motorcycle's visual identity. The seat appears almost integrated into the long horizontal line of the bike, creating a classic bobber-inspired silhouette while maintaining enough practicality for everyday riding. Kawasaki also offers accessory low and high seat options, giving riders additional flexibility in tailoring the ergonomics. At the rear, the design remains deliberately clean. The rear section is compact, the rear wheel is substantial, and the exhauster and suspension components provide visual balance, rather than making the rear extremely bulky. The Eliminator maintains a relatively minimalist shape. The twin rear shocks reinforce the traditional motorcycle aesthetic while supporting the bike's everyday comfort. For our concept interpretation, a slightly cleaner tail section, integrated LED lighting, and a premium finish could make the motorcycle look even more sophisticated without changing the fundamental character of the Eliminator. Now let's talk about the heart of the motorcycle, because this is where the Eliminator separates itself from many conventional cruisers. Instead of using a large V-twin, the Kawasaki is powered by a 451cc, 4-stroke, liquid-cooled, 2-cylinder engine. Kawasaki lists a maximum output of 51 horsepower at 10,000 revolutions per minute, or a maximum torque of 31.7 pounds-feet at 7,500 revolutions per minute. Those numbers tell us something important about the character of this motorcycle. This is not designed to be a slow, heavy cruiser that simply moves forward with a relaxed pulse. The parallel twin configuration gives it the potential for stronger acceleration and a broader sense of performance, especially when the engine is allowed to climb through the rev range. The 451cc engine uses a 70.0 by 58.6mm bore and stroke combination and an 11.3:1 compression ratio. Fuel delivery comes through Kawasaki's DFI system with 32mm throttle bodies, while ignition is handled by a transistor-controlled system with electronic advance. On the road, the character should be one of smooth, responsive acceleration rather than the heavy thumping sensation associated with a much larger traditional cruiser engine. The 6-speed transmission is another important part of the package. Having 6 ratios allows the rider to keep the engine in a useful part of its power band during city riding while also maintaining relaxed engine speed when cruising. The Eliminator's engine is therefore not only about making the motorcycle move, it is about giving the rider flexibility. Around town, the lower gears provide responsive acceleration. On an open road, the higher gears make longer distance riding more comfortable. One of the most interesting things about the Eliminator is the balance between its engine and chassis. A motorcycle with 51 horsepower does not sound extreme by modern performance bike standards, but in a lightweight cruiser package, that output can feel energetic. Kawasaki lists a curb weight of 390.3 pounds for the 2026 Eliminator SE ABS, with an estimated dry weight of 363.8 pounds. That relatively modest mass is one of the motorcycle's biggest advantages. Less weight means easier maneuvering, more confidence at low speeds, and a more responsive feeling when changing direction. This is also where the Eliminator's concept becomes particularly interesting. Imagine a motorcycle that visually looks like a cruiser but responds more like a lightweight standard bike. That is essentially the philosophy behind this machine. You get the low seat and relaxed appearance, but underneath you have a compact chassis and an engine that is capable of revving enthusiastically.